starts now.
Thanks for sticking with us here at 7:30. You're sitting at home now watching our newscast. But if you didn't have the day off today, you probably took the highway to get home at some point. Maybe you took I-77. This month marks 6 years since the express lanes partially opened on 77 north of Uptown. This is video from June 2019 when those lanes first opened, and you can see they're pretty empty. Many drivers we spoke to at the time weren't willing to pay the cost of using them.
I will absolutely never use the tolling. I think that it's unfair. I think it's unjust. I think it's a way to take money from the people who live here.
If it was free or they had some sort of like the HOV lanes where if you could get over there, if you had more than one passenger, I think more people might move over.
Let's give you a live look right now on the roads. On the right and left sides of your screen, you can see traffic flowing there on I-77. In the middle lanes there, in both directions, those are those express lanes, and there's hardly anyone using them 6 years later. Many drivers saying the toll's just too expensive to justify for their commute. They'd rather sit in traffic instead. We've seen that during rush hour time and time again. And that's an issue transportation leaders want to resolve as they start making plans for more express lanes. This time we're talking about plans to add 11 miles of toll lanes between the Brookshire Freeway and the South Carolina state line. This is a $3.2 billion project. Last night, the Charlotte Regional Transportation Planning Organization met to discuss where things stand right now. The North Carolina Department of Transportation is still working on procedural steps and plans to start looking for private bidders soon to help them fund the project. In the meantime, they're focusing on their vision for the project. And one focus is making sure the express lanes are more affordable to incentivize more people to actually use them.
The goal in all the work that we did was to achieve an outcome where you've got healthy utilization in those managed lanes, providing some real relief in the free lanes, and not just a revenue maximizing situation, as I believe we've seen in I-77 North.
All right, so here's what they want to do here. Leaders are proposing caps on toll rates. They want those rates to mirror express lane usage and traffic conditions to make pricing more fair. That's not happening on the northbound express lanes. Those lanes have what's called dynamic pricing, meaning the rate you pay could change every 5 minutes. So this cap on the southbound lanes would stop prices from getting too high. Now, when it comes to setting what that cap is, that would be up to the private developer who ends up working here with NCDOT on this. Because it's a multi-billion-dollar project, it'll need to be funded through a private-public partnership.
The goal here is to let these developers work their way into that, right? You know, certainly we can look at the rates that would be proposed for reasonableness and run it through our models, but at the end of the day, it's the volume of traffic that's trying to get in those lanes that will ultimately control it.
They also want to implement discounts for low-income drivers. Those are in effect right now in those northbound express lanes, in those lanes north of Uptown. But the biggest concern from local leaders is that all of this work and money will end up going to waste, as they feel it has up north.
I just hate to see us spend $3.2 billion and not have done anything to address congestion.
So here's what happens next year. The Charlotte Regional Transportation Planning Organization has 60 days to review the final presentation given to them last night. In August, they and NCDOT will start advertising to developers. The short list of bidders will be selected sometime early next year, and the preferred bidder will be selected by the end of 2027. Then there'll be the process of construction, and that, of course, could take several years. So you'll still have to sit in traffic on 77 south of the Uptown on your way home for a while longer. We'll keep you updated as we get more details on the project.